did you really think you could get away from me that easily, human? Doma whispered into Yin's ear, ripping the girl from her slumber and making her back away until she hit the back of the wall. He merely let out a laugh as she did so. I have to say, though, I am quite surprised to see that you made it all the way here in just a few hours. It should have at least taken you at least a few days. Yin said nothing, only continuing to stare at him in blank shock. How did he find me? Look at that amusing expression you're making, Doma teased, with a chuckle whilst placing the palms of his fingers to his lips. Honestly, you humans are so expressive. It's funny. How did you find me? Yin's voice, her thoughts, her hands balling into fists at her side. He perked up, tilting his head to the side and making his blonde locks shift as he did so. How did I find you? Well, if that was so easy. Your blood is so strong that it left a path for me to follow. The residents near where you had left were so faint, but still there. And the further I traveled, the more that scent became stronger. You can do that? She gasped out, horrified at such a prospect. Not usually, no. He shook his head, giving a shrug of his shoulders. But with you, smiling viciously, no longer light-hearted but comedical. He approached her until he was only a few feet away, bending down so their noses were almost touching, as he said, With you, it's different. You don't have Marichi blood, as I am still composed around you. But there is still something. He could feel, Yin could feel herself almost flush at how close he was. The feeling mixed with fear and confusion in her entirely. I can't explain it, so, oh well. Doma then sighed, grabbing her arm and practically dragging her out of the small cabin like she was a lost child. And anyways, I don't have time to do since the meeting he called for is about to begin. Oh, hell no, she yelled in English, able to rip her arm out of his hold and expectedly stop him in his tracks. Must you be so difficult? He sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose in exploration before turning back to look at her. I'm trying to be aware of you, as I could be very well kill you and bring your body to him and wait for you to regenerate. Yin grimaced at that, but before she could open her mouth and say something more, a sudden light evaded her senses and made her flinch from the sudden objection. Hey, a man called from his porch, him being the owner of the small storage house and currently walking towards with a flickering candle in hand. What are you doing on my property in the middle of the night? Get lost before I call the authorities and I'll... So annoying. Doma clicked his tongue as he shot out his fan. The man choked. The candle slowly slid from his fingers and fell to his knees, the large gash in his chest staining his shirt red with blood, letting out choked gasps as he gasped desperately out of the wound. It wasn't long before he fell over, dead, his eyes vacant and dull, as they were now lifeless. Kneeling down beside him, Doma muttered, Such filth like you deserves that kind of fate. Oh, hello, kitty. Sorry, if you hear purring, it's baby. Yin could only stand there. Her eyes stayed glued to the man's fallen form. He's dead. Because I stayed here and Doma found me. An innocent man is dead. No. What's wrong? Doma then asked sweetly, acting as if nothing there not even as there was a corpse laying next to him. Nothing, she muttered, yet the guilt tore away at her all the same. Doma had taken a bit aback, since so usually people would have been screaming at him by now, but at this time found it pleasing since he took her in confidence, meaning that she would allow him to take her, happily humming as Yin followed along behind him, knowing she only did so because she didn't want to cause any more deaths. He then stopped abruptly in the middle of the path. "Nakime," he cooed, almost intensely, the sound of a musical instrument twanging in their ears as they fell through the ground. Landing on the floor with a grunt, Yin pushed herself up to see that Doma had graciously landed beside her on his feet, grumbling under her breath how unfair this situation was. She shook off the fall as she stood to her feet, glancing around to find that instead of earth, she was in the multitude of tatami flooring and cloth sliding doors, all with various designs of white surfaces. Wow, this looks like the inside of a traditional Japanese home, but looking around more, Yin could see that the various structure of the space had easily shifted and knew just how they did it. The Infinity Fortress. This is where Muzan lives and dies, where the upper moons will die as well. "Isn't it incredible?" Doma stated, excitement filling his rainbow-like eyes as he projected of seeing his master could react to her. "This is Muzan-sama's power, and this is where you will meet him. This is where he will unlock the mystery behind your constant regeneration, and this is most likely the last place you'll ever see." "I'm sorry, what?" Yin demanded, snapping her head to the side so that she could now staring at him with wide eyes. "Fuck no!" "Do watch your language," he taunted. Does that really fucking matter right now?" She threw her hands up in disbelief, feeling as if she were being watched, and not just by Doma. "I don't want to be trapped here. I don't want to be killed over and over again for yours and everyone else's amusement. God, you and your annoying face." Doma cocked his head once more, his lips curving up into a smile as he approached her, standing much closer than absolutely necessary. "What about my face?" Yin flinched, his actions flustering her all over again, especially with how he knew exactly what he was doing. Shoving him away, she tapped her foot against the tatami mats as she anxiously awaited for the others to arrive, glancing up to where she and Doma fell through to find nothing but a wall. Biting her fingernails, she couldn't help but feel dread pulling into the pit of her stomach. She let out a slow sigh. "Guess I'm going to die again. Yeah." It's time for Togawa Era's secret. The strong potency of Yin's blood is so powerful that it does indeed leave a scent trail. Doma killed the man only because he was really annoyed from Yin's difficulty, only really seeing him as another hindrance. Yin likes to look at Doma's eyes, well, because they're pretty, and, well, he knows. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say that I will not be posting Monday through until January 1st because I want to spend time with family and friends and want to enjoy, well, Christmas and of course New Year's. And also I'll be heading to my friend's house because I only get to see him once a year, so yippee! Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much. Bye! Also, have fun with Muzan next weekend. Mwah.